Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Your favorite and mine, Appia rates. I missed Bianca. I was very happy for the last week on Keith and the Girl extra, extra large show. We summed up 2 weeks then, right? Mm-hmm. It's the best as always. I want more Bianca always. Bianca, do you even care? Do you? Love Appia. Ladies and gentlemen, Bianca Brady.
Hello, world.
Hello.
Thank you guys for letting me out from behind the paywall.
Of course.
I've been in the penalty box.
This is who we've been talking about. Everybody they adore you.
Yeah, if they pay.
Yeah.
They can.
Yeah.
And here's a little taste. Get them hooked.
Thank you. So we're going to have Bianca host the show in a minute. She'll be leading us through all the ins and outs of the weekend festivities. First, I was just catching her up with what we talked about yesterday about how my dad wrote to my ex behind my back, assuming we weren't talking.
Which I don't know why. You co-host a show with your other ex.
Right.
You're pretty in touch.
Hi, I hope that all is going well with you, he wrote to my ex-wife. Don't mean to be exceedingly nosy, but what happened between you and Keith? Your former father-in-law, Mike Malley.
Shaking my damn head.
I saw your eyes were ready to fall out as you were reading this sentence or two.
Yeah.
Good, because that is the right response.
I don't understand. Hey, what's up with my son that you...
Right.
I'm assuming you don't talk to?
Right.
What's your
No,
end game?
you know what's the most egregious part to me?
Honestly, no.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
How long has it been since you got divorced?
2 years.
Why now?
Right.
Like, he's just been thinking about other things
Right.
for the past 2 years, and then one Sunday morning he wakes up and he goes, you want to know what I wonder?
Yeah.
Huh.
We had a superficial birthday phone call the day before, and then the very next morning, he sends this email out.
Wow. So what was her reaction?
She immediately showed it to me because we do still talk, and then she had the idea of saying, well, Keith wanted to be a priest, and I wasn't into it. I really wish she would. But she said, as I said yesterday, is this going to open up a can of worms if I do? I go, yeah, let's have some fun now.
Yeah.
But
Welcome to my can of worms life.
Right. So I don't know how I'm going to play it yet exactly, but it makes no sense. And I know with him there's no rhyme or reason, but almost going outside the family, that's what makes this egregious.
You know what you should do? Because, he doesn't have an ex-wife or anything like that, but he was a priest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's got to be call the school. What happened between you and my dad? He's not a priest anymore.
Well, he's already given me advice about these stepkids, right? And meanwhile, it's like, Dad, none of us talk to you. Not really. There's no real conversation of any kind.
Yeah, you don't do kids right.
You don't get to write a book. Why are you...
Yeah.
No, just say, hey, here's the opposite of everything I did.
Books don't get written about how you had the greatest dad in the world. Book gets written about, this is how everyone fucked up.
But he really thinks he can give parenting advice. And what made you think that?
I think what makes parents think that they deserve a pat on the back is just doing their job.
Right. Or you living in spite of them.
Yeah, but
Here's
they're like...
what you do, Keith. You write an email to Jesus.
Okay.
And you say, whatever happened with you and my dad?
Right. And accidentally, in quotes, CC my dad.
Yes. Yeah.
So I know I'm not going to say anything for the longest time because I want him wondering.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
What's a long time, do you think?
2 hours.
Because you can't help yourself. You're dying to write back.
It'll be a couple days. I'll let him sweat it out over the weekend for sure.
Will you drop a hint?
Yes, I will fuck with him. Yes.
Can't wait for that.
Kenda's idea was just out of the blue, I say, I never really understand why we did get divorced.
Mm.
And
Get him talking. I think that's the best way to get him talking. He'll start with, son.
Right.
And then who knows where. I mean, the possibilities are endless.
A man from Michigan is suing his parents, saying they threw out $29,000 worth of porn and sex toys he collected over several decades.
How old is he?
40.
Oh, fuck off. It's my house.
He moved into his parents' home in Michigan after a 2016 divorce.
Oh, okay.
Left for Indiana in 2017. This is all in the lawsuit. He said that when his parents came by to drop off the rest of his stuff 10 months later, 14 boxes full of adult toys, magazines, and movies were missing.
I'm sorry. They came back to drop his stuff, and now he's suing them?
The man now wants $87,000 in damages from his parents.
Oh, I bet he was a treat to live with. His ex-wife is just like, your parents have you now.
The parents emailed, "We counted 12 moving boxes full of pornography, plus 2 boxes of sex toys, as you call them. We began that day the process of destroying them, and it took quite a while to do so."
Wow, they shot them directly into the sun.
The man then told his parents in an email, "If you had a problem with my belongings, you should have stated that at the time, and I would have gone elsewhere."
You're a little bitch. You know what? Your parents are wrong, and I'm still on their side.
Right. Instead, you choose to keep quiet and behave vindictively.
Shut up.
You can't bring that stuff across state lines.
Right.
This isn't for your parents to bring it to you. You fucked up.
The man sent one officer 44 emails listing all the vintage porn movies destroyed.
Oh, yeah. You don't need help.
The officer was quoted as saying, "Oh no, that one too?"
Right. 2 of the titles lost in the trash were Frisky Business and
I don't remember the last title I watched, let alone like the titles I can own.
he knows, and Big Bad Grannies.
Oh, no. He wants to put that in a lawsuit.
For publicity, Pornhub is offering the man a lifetime subscription to its premium service if he drops the suit.
Yes.
They say, quote, "We're very serious about lending a helping hand and helping this family patch things up."
Yes. You know what? They win.
Damages. You got to go to court and see your kid there. What?
I'm not going to court. You can keep suing me. I'm going to be dead soon.
Right.
I am not going to court over your fucking porn. Throw me in jail. I dare you. I dare you to say, when people go, "Oh, are you going home for Christmas?" No, I put my parents in jail. They threw out my dildo, which is what I call it.
Right.
No,
My
I can't.
so-called sex toy. I want them to go on Judge Judy, though, because I
Yeah.
think that would
Yes.
be a fantastic episode.
Yes.
And he's got to hold up, pornography material one after another, and Big Bad Grannies. And let me mention this, and then Bianca will take over. Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, cryptos, all commission-free.
I use it, and I have tried being involved in the stock market and just get overwhelmed as soon as I even think, what do I do? What's the
Right.
first step? This one, you download the app. It's absolutely free. They explain to you, first of all, they give you free stock. So now you're like, okay, I don't have anything to really lose. I could just kind of dabble in it.
Right.
And I don't know what the stocks mean. You always see that parade of like GRE and like
Right.
FTP. I don't know what I'm talking about. It is the absolute best. It's so user friendly. And I know I'm boasting about this, and I really still can't tell you exactly what happens, but now I know how to be involved in it. Now I know how to invest. I know how to see if I'm up or down. I can monitor it every day. I can do little stocks. Like I put in $25 and boom, I'm in.
While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees. No commission fees. You can trade stocks and keep all the profits. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started. You can start investing at any level. Simple, intuitive, easy to understand charts and market data. You can view stock collections, such as 100 most popular, for example.
Yeah, that made it a lot easier.
With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in the market as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, track your favorites, etc., etc. Robinhood is giving listeners of Keith and the Girl a free stock, such as Apple, Ford, or Sprint, to help you build your portfolio.
Are you guys hearing that?
Yeah.
How does not everybody have a free stock?
Right.
So it's a free app. There's no charge for using it.
Sign up at katg1.robinhood.com. KATG, the number 1.robinhood.com.
You got to do this, you guys.
All right. Now, Bianca, you were excellent, of course, over the weekend. You were the judge for Silent was it? You Can't Say That, right? For You Can't Say That.
And you and Andrea competed in silent trailers.
Right.
That's true.
Right. Now, let's get to the judging. This is the one you were actually most nervous about, right?
I was, because it involved having to listen to the people on stage, but also man the app.
Man the app to, somebody, they have to get the other person to say a word, but they can't say certain words. So you're
Right.
trying to catch them, trying to trick.
Like Taboo
Yeah.
and charades.
You were aces.
Thank you. It's hard because I want to watch the show,
Right.
but I can't because I have to look at the app. I have to be laser focused on the words that they cannot say.
Because they'll start yelling at you. I know during silent trailers, I was the judge.
Right.
And they're like, I said it first. They start yelling at each other. There was almost fisticuffs, but like in a good way.
Right.
Yeah, so I was fully locked in, and huge shout out to Xerxes and Jerome, because Xerxes was on tech, and Keith, I don't know if you want to tell the audience what happened.
Apparently,
If you don't, I will.
I might as well then. Apparently, I kept kicking out a cord and starting everything over.
There was technical difficulties, and this is the first time we did silent trailers, which was first that day.
Right.
So silent trailers is me watching a trailer on silent, and contestants deciding which movie I'm describing. Now, I put this together. I was so proud of myself. I can't ask Keith about movies. I can't say, like, is this popular, is it not? I figured it all out. There were 10 different categories. One was not white, and which I loved, but it was a little bit harder to get. Anyway, so I put it in a spreadsheet, and I think I'm being a genius. I'm like, I'm going to know everything. I'm going to cut it out. I even made a copy for our editor, Henrik. And so, when I cut out the one that we use, I just go down the line. So if we already used the first, under comedy, if we use the first trailer, it's cut out. I know to go to the second one. Nothing worked right. Nothing. And people could see my screen. So I'm going back and forth on my screen, and I got
Everybody finally got to see that porn guy she's always talking about with the skull on his hand.
I left my Pornhub open.
Right.
So there was a little technical difficulty, and I'm monitoring so much that I'm not keeping track, obviously, of the trailers. I'm keeping track mentally. And so Xerxes, like you said, was helping. So was Jerome with the technical stuff. And what a good friend. He's sitting behind me now as I'm doing all the I'm cutting and pasting, and I hear laughter from the audience, and I'm like, I didn't do anything funny. I must have fucked up. I put the trailer in and I hit enter, and the trailer isn't coming up. I'm like, oh my God, all these links are wrong. Everything's wrong. I hear laughter from the audience. I'm like, how do they know how wrong I am? How do they know what's supposed to come up? Xerxes leans towards me and goes, put it in the browser.
Where were you putting it? On a Word
I
document?
was putting it in the search on YouTube because I was just going nuts in my head. Like, I had to, keep score. And it sounds so frivolous, but
Every second feels like 5 minutes.
Listen,
Yeah.
I was right behind you on
Yeah.
You Can't Say That. It's a lot of pressure.
it is. So then, I'm not, it won't cut. So every time I take a trailer from the spreadsheet, it's still there. So I have to remember how many of the comedy ones we use. So I start at the fourth one if somebody tells me they want that category again. So somebody says comedy. I'm like, oh my God, how many comedy ones did we use? I'm like, okay, fourth down. I go to copy it. Before I do, Xerxes leans in and goes, you're at 4 down. I'm like, oh shit. You never think like he's really paying attention.
Right.
And there he is.
He's like a wizard.
Yeah.
He's like a calm wizard.
He looks like one too. Right? A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, with that beard now?
With the beard and the hair, everything. Yeah. All right. So we're going to hand this show over to you. First, let me say I really enjoyed when Bianca would tell people the word that they missed. Alex Trebek had nothing on her. She's like, the word was urchin. Okay, let's try again. Next one.
I know. And somebody, one of the contestants at the end, I forget who it was. Or no, it was an audience member, said, I loved how dispassionate you were. And I was like, no, that's just my actual personality at all times.
That's my tone.
I wasn't trying to be any kind of way.
Right.
But I think, I could be the next host of Jeopardy.
It came out nice. By the way, well, that makes me think of this. The launch party was the very first thing we did.
Yeah, so that was Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
I got there a little on the late side because I don't know if you guys heard, but I was the first one at Keith's Super Bowl party.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little nervous about getting there too early.
Right. But we connected.
Of course we connected, but
Yeah.
it was like for a half an hour at least. We were connected.
Wow, you connected eye to eye with Keith for a half an hour alone.
It It was a lot. It
It's
was a
life changing.
connection
You're a different person now.
forged in fire, you know? And then, so I got there a little late.
What's it like to connect with Keith?
You know, that's a really good question. I'm going to turn it back on you.
Who is Keith?
I feel like you're the only one who can answer that at this point. What is it like to connect with Keith?
You just live and let live, baby.
I got to his house. He's like, hey, here we go. Bathroom's over here. Make yourself at home. Don't need to use a coaster. And I'm like, who are you? Like, why are you being friendly? What's going on?
Did he offer you his weird fucking candy dish?
Probably.
Of course. It's a dish of candy.
Before,
This is what we mock nowadays. You guys ruined Velcro, you ruined Crocs, and now you're trying to ruin candy bowls?
before the
How
part,
dare you offer me candy, you
Right.
freak.
We're adults.
I got all the stuff for the barbecue for that night, and of course Jerome and Xerxes were like, "You want me to come with you?" I'm like, "No, I got this. It's a barbecue. We're having hamburgers." They're like, "Well, just come for funsies." I'm like, after I bought everything, I'm piling it all into things, and I'm just like, "Yeah, I think you guys knew I needed help. This is really nice."
They're both like cool wizards.
They are both cool wizards. I should grow a beard like theirs.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, Appia said, I met you in person. Very surprised how nice you are. I was impressed.
Oh yeah, so that's my point. I pile everything into the car. We bring it to Keith's place, and he goes, "You think I should go get more candy?" No, no, you fucking freak. You have enough runts. Where are you getting? Like, he's got like one Reese's, 50 runts. Like, it's like he went to the movies and took a doggy bag home. It's so fucking weird.
Well, my
Keith
girlfriend went,
Malley comes out of the closet. I've been a grandmother this whole time.
my girlfriend wants to take me to a nice dinner for my birthday. I'm like,
Do you know what that is?
but there's a dollar store across the street and they have lots of candies. What are we doing with steaks?
What a simple person. You know how to connect with Keith is bring a box of candy.
Well, I saw that Bianca was talking to our friend Dee, who works for the New York Times. And what news did you get?
Well, okay, so I walk into the party. I feel some eyes on me. Now, there's one place on earth where I'm known, I guess, and it is in Keith's backyard at the launch party.
Right.
And so this woman, Dee, she says, "Oh, I listened to last week on Keith and the Girl, yada, yada, yada. You're the best thing to ever live. Like, you're better than Keith and him to put together
You're
times
definitely
a million."
paraphrasing, but
And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm amazing.
That does sound like D.
right.
But she said, I work at the Times, and I slacked the crossword team and told them about your podcast, Whitey Puzzleman's Crossword Hour.
First of all, genius move. I love D. Brilliant.
Thank you, Dee. And they responded and said, "Oh, yeah, we already know about it. Smiley face reaction on Slack."
Boom.
And I took like a victory lap around the party. I was so excited.
Then she started going, there's this little group. People are kind of in groups. So then she'd go to another group and be like, "What do you got? You got news?"
I know. The party kind of sucked after that. I got to be honest. No, but it was so fun to meet everybody from the forums. I felt like I was meeting celebrities. I was like, "You're Lanfear?" "Hi." She's like, "I'm Lanfear."
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I was saying briefly yesterday how it wasn't until last minute where I'm thinking, what did I do? What did I agree to? But everybody was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody. That's odd. And I did it anyway, but that's odd. And it all worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and had a delicious burger cooked for me by Wally.
Shout out.
And I realized he follows me on Instagram and likes my stuff. And I was like, "You're Wally from Instagram. Hi. Thank you so much."
Did you allow him to finish the burger himself, or did you try to jump in? "You're Wally from Instagram. I'll cook it."
Yeah, I was like, "Sit down.
Right.
You've done enough."
Well, congrats. The New York Times knows Whitey Puzzleman's Crossword
Yeah,
Hour.
they've been told about it by more than one person, and they're still ignoring me. So all signs point to not interested.
Well, what would they do?
I don't know. Reach out to me and say, "Hey, what's up? Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a coffee." Joel and Sam and Will, I'm talking to you guys.
I love coffee, right?
WhiteyPuzzleman@gmail.com. Send us an email. Love you guys.
Maybe they didn't. It's just a complicated email.
If
long
anybody
email.
knows how to spell,
I
it's
guess.
them.
It's the times.
So the party was so fun.
Yeah.
I had a great time. And then I connected with some people, Peter and Sarah, who have been on the show.
Who
Turns
also-
out we're neighbors.
And they also helped with the bacon for the
They
burger.
took it out of the oven. They were good. He's a chef. He knew when to take it out.
And we shared a ride home because we're neighbors. So
That's
it was
nice.
like community bonding. I mean, I just felt like, wow,
Right.
all these people.
Look at
How
this.
nice.
Look at this. Do you share it with your therapist? Have you seen them
I haven't
yet?
seen her, no.
Okay.
But I'm sure she'll be thrilled. Do you want me to tell her about you, Keith?
Thank you.
I'm happy to.
I don't know, because I know you get anxiety for different things, and like maybe this is healthy.
Yeah, it's
party.
good to socialize. I'm pretty good at parties. I was
Okay.
more nervous for the next day because I don't really perform live ever, but it was really fun. I felt very safe being on a team with the Andrea Allan because I knew if I choked, she would have plenty to say.
And you guys were very funny, but terrible at silent trailers.
You know, I don't think that that's a fair assessment of what we were. I think we
We were there. You know that, right?
As
we saw that.
was I, as was the listening audience, some of, and they can write in and tell me how I was robbed of a win, because I thought that my tactic of arguing that everyone that we got wrong, we actually said first.
You tricked him a couple times.
I know. I thought that was a pretty good tactic.
I got to get buzzers for the next one.
Yeah.
Speaking of arguments, of course, Christian was on stage, and of course, we got into an
Oh
argument.
yeah, this. I mean, come on, Hemda. Though you got to be honest, you prod him a little bit.
Do I?
You're looking for a fight, my friend.
Oh, I just think we're having fun all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so innocent.
Right.
Look at me, I'm Hemda.
Every time he gets actually cranky, but I think again we'll have fun next time. What was the story you told?
Well, I said that he's hit on me because
Right.
he made fun of me somehow. I don't know, related to hitting on or something like that.
Yep.
And I was like, well, not. Oh, he said.
He said, "Why do you always
Yeah.
treat me like I'm an ex-boyfriend? We never dated."
Yes. And I thought that was funny because I guess I do. I think I treat him like a brother. Like I'm just like, oh, we get to pick on each other because we'll always have fun.
And that's when you said, well, actually, you did hit on me in the past.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, you always say that. I never hit on you. I'm like, okay, you want me to tell the story? And he's like, I don't give a fuck. Tell the story.
And the story is that he...
So after a surf reality, he and I and like a bunch of people from surf were just walking to like go eat at a diner or something. And he and I happened to be walking together the entire time. We're having a great time. We're chatting. And I'm like, yay, I think, you know, that crossover where it's like, I know Christian, we're friends when we see each other, we hang out, like, but it's more like backstage or whatever, wherever open mic we're at. I was like, oh, making friends with Christian, like it's nice crossing over into actual friendship. We sit at the diner next to each other. Everyone just sat down. This dude walks in. We end up chatting, he and I gave him my phone number. Or he gave me mine, whatever. I was interested. And then when he left, Christian goes, that's really fucked up. I've been chatting with you this whole time. This dude comes in and you give him your phone number. And he's like, so Christian goes, in real time now, I didn't hit on you. I did not hit on you. It's just I thought you were being rude. And I started arguing, why would you care if I gave anyone my phone number if you're not hitting on me?
Right.
And he goes, you know what? I don't even remember that happened. And then I started feeling a little petty. Like, oh, he doesn't even remember this. This is 20-something years later. I've remembered it. I remembered it at that moment. And I started thinking, am I petty or does this mean something to me? Maybe I wanted him to hit on me. I don't know. No. What happened was I got hurt by it because I really was like, oh, we're being friends. This is so cool. You know, this surf reality place, it's bringing me friends. And then when he was upset that I got this person's number, I was like, oh, he thought he was wasting time talking to me if I'm not interested or if I'm not one way or another. And I felt so stupid. I was like, oh, I thought I was just having a nice conversation. you know,
Mhm.
I don't understand why he said. And then I don't understand how you're not hitting on me. Maybe it's not directly, but I don't know if I was talking to Bianca and then she got some guy's number.
Well, if you then gave the number to him, he wouldn't go, "What? You're totally misunderstanding. No, I don't want your number. We're just pals."
Well, with Christian,
Of
I'm
course he
pretty
would've-
sure I had his number.
well,
You
this is
know
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying. Of course, any move would have been, appreciated.
But I don't understand. Was I being hit on?
Yes.
Okay. And if I wasn't being hit on, am I completely misunderstanding something?
Wow.
It hurt
No,
my
I
it hurt
think-
my feelings.
I think you bruised his ego in that moment. And to make up for it, you've been attempting to bruise his ego every single time you've ever spoken to him since.
We got to the bottom of it.
At the live show, it all came full circle. It's like, why do we do this pattern? Oh, it's because of this seed that was planted years ago.
And in all fairness, we were friends after that. It never was weird, and we worked with each other both like in comedy and like regular jobs. I hooked him up with my weird children's party entertainment stuff, and it was never ever weird.
Right.
It's just that moment, and I guess I do like being. I really do think of him like I've known him for over 20 years now. I think that I do the same thing to Keith. Do I not? It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Huh.
I don't
I think
know.
I'm poking at him just like I poke at Keith.
It's different.
Hmm.
It's a little bit of a pointier poke.
Andrea has the difference. Yes, come tell us the difference.
Andrea Allan, ladies and gentlemen,
She-
coming to the stage.
I said, is it different? Andrea's like shaking her head. It's almost falling off.
Yes, you get in a fight with Christian almost every single time he's on the show.
But I don't think I'm fighting. I'm just like
Yes, you are.
pushing him
How
a
about
little.
instead of saying I don't think and everyone is like, yes, you are. Let's continue this pattern
But
like
you know,
we do every time. Aggression gate, spoon gate, Christian gate,
Tissue on the floor gate.
tissue on the floor gate, that older guest that came on and you hated her gate.
Poon slop gate.
Yes.
okay, here's what I mean.
Okay.
Christian says stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I respond like me. I think he takes it wrong. I push
Wow.
everybody.
Wow, gaslighting.
push
Wow. Not the way
everybody.
that you push him. You're on him like white on rice almost immediately, always.
You don't let him get away with
Yeah.
anything.
He says like half a sentence and you're always like, fuck you, you old white grumpy piece of shit.
I don't do that with Keith or with any other guest.
Not on the level that you do with Christian. It's before he even opens his mouth. You're like, Christian, the middle fingers both up.
Really? Because I love
What's
him.
your old white opinion, you fucking piece of shit?
He didn't even take his coat off
Yeah.
yet.
Well, if I'm
And
really
here we
doing
have
that,
Christian, you fucking gross prick loser Finnegan.
I love him so much. I feel like I can do
And
that
then
because I know
and then
him.
he goes, no, I didn't hit on you. And then he was trying to be like, you put him in the weirdest position ever because you go, you hit on me, you piece of garbage. And he goes, I didn't, but not that I wouldn't. Hemmed is a lovely, he's trying to be nice. And it was so, I'm like, where is he supposed to go with this? Because he can't be funny at you because you're handicapped, your legs all
Oh, come on.
gimped up.
Oh, come on.
Is he going to call you a bitch?
You have 5
You
forms of
17
death.
different diseases. Yeah.
I never hit on you, and I never would, and I never will.
You don't even have a leg, you fucking
Now let's do a comedy show.
yeah.
I really didn't think it was such a big deal.
It's not.
It's not a big deal, but you definitely you're going after him specifically.
Yeah, none of it's a big deal. You just need to know that you're aggressive. It's not a big deal. Know it. Know that you're a slob. It's not a big deal.
Keith doesn't get on him like on certain things.
No.
Because Keith will say stuff like, you sound stupid to anybody, and nobody fucking bats an eye.
I don't think we can forever play this game where when people say you do something, you'll go, Keith also does it. I don't, not specifically, I noticed that you were like this with Christian.
Kind of
It
just
is
the mean one.
extra. I wouldn't say that.
I would say that Keith is tougher on like a Billy Procida than you are,
And I
Yeah.
think I'm pretty tough on Billy Procida also.
but you're tougher on Christian.
You're tougher on Christian.
Really? 'Cause
Yeah.
Billy gets it.
Well, he deserves it.
Oh, so that's how we're going.
Sure.
Because Billy, I think I'm like, I always ask him like, is that too much? And he reassures me that it's fine.
Yeah.
But I push him a lot.
Yeah.
Christian, I think it's because I've known him for so long. I think we're just playing. But if that's what I'm doing, I'll back up.
I mean, yeah, it's You're never going to, though. That's the problem.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're like, sounds good.
Yeah.
Bring him out.
Yeah.
Speaking of Billy, let's talk about the pairing. So, and you can't say that we had podcasters, like mostly teams,
Right.
doing You Can't Say That with one another because they know each other well.
And this is the game, of course, that combines taboo and charades.
Right.
Yeah.
But one team was 2 different podcasts, Teen Mom Trash Talk with Tracy Carnazzo and the Man Whore podcast with Billy Procida. Now, it proved that they were not on the same wavelength.
No,
I think.
not even one wave. They
To
didn't-
a hilarious end, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
It was torture for them. Glorious.
Oil and vinegar.
Oh, so beautiful to watch. At some point, all I yelled was, "This is exactly what I wanted."
Do you see the way that Tracy was being with Billy?
Yes.
That's you and Christian.
No.
Yes.
Metallic tasting Billy.
What does metal taste like?
Penny? How would the answer be Penny, Billy?
Just to tell you what we're working with for those who aren't here, and we will be putting it out. She goes, at some point, this is her clue. She's trying to get him to say the word mop, okay?
Right.
She goes, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then when I fucking murder you and your fucking goddamn blood is on the floor, what am I gonna fucking use to clean your shit up? And he
great.
goes, a mop. And she's like,
Ding.
good, Billy.
And I go, correct.
It was urchin.
Right.
Billy had this weird. He
He liked it.
He loves it. He loves it. He's gonna be upset about this, and
Yes.
he loves it. I
Yes.
don't understand, but
It's literally both of those. He's like almost sweat. He doesn't know. He's just like, we're not doing this right. And Tracy's like, fuck you, Billy. And then he's like, I like when you yell at me.
yeah, it's like a dysfunctional marriage.
Yeah.
But he does this thing. He was sitting. His elbows were on the stool, and his ass was out. Like he was like bent. He wasn't sitting on it, but he was like bent over it, like he was taking it doggy. I'm like, why are you doing this? What? I don't
He
understand.
fully commits.
How you commit to what? Getting
being
stage
focused.
fucked? I don't understand it.
He made a strong choice about his game stance.
yeah,
You
very
know, in
wide
karate,
stance, yeah.
The stance
Well,
is the most important part of a sensei's art.
He just puts out such bizarre energy, and then
Well, she was going to lunge at him. He better
yeah,
stand.
Yeah, it was.
Why are you sitting? We're losing.
Billy, you're a fucking asshole.
So at the end of the first round, the podcast Mango Bay was in the lead. And I think that being announced kind of got in their heads because
Yes.
they ended up definitely not winning.
Tanked it.
But it was really fun to watch them do the You Can't Say That game
Right.
because they have such different vibes. Usama is like screaming and Pranav is like airplane or whatever, you know?
Well, with both being foreigners, one clue was when they were doing well. We're not allowed on these airplanes.
Yeah. And it was perfect. And they would do, different language stuff. It was like a whole other way of relating. It was
Yeah.
very cool.
And they still lost.
And they still lost. But they didn't lose as hard as Billy and Tracy.
We announced the losers on this show. That's how it works. We didn't even grant a winner. We only had losers.
Well, I could give an award for someone who talked the most shit.
That's what the people want.
And who was
Kanda.
that?
Oh, me for the win.
Now, who's worse, me yelling at Christian or Andrea
no,
shit talking?
I'm better because I don't hurt people's feelings. Everyone knows I'm joking. Christian's crying.
Do you really believe that?
Yes.
Yeah, Christian is unhappy to be there. Yes, absolutely. He's unhappy looking on stage. He's not having a good time. I bet you $50.
Because of me?
Yes.
Holy
Whoa.
shit.
Yeah.
Things just got real
It
on this
really
episode.
did. Can we get unreal again? Because holy shit.
You make people sad.
Okay. All right. Now I'm moving past that.
I bring pure joy. I made an impression on your friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did she say? So my friend Sophia came with her girlfriend. And it's always a little nerve-wracking because they're outside of this community. But she could take a joke. I mean, we're saying some fucked up shit out there. So, and She sat in the first row with her girlfriend. I'm like, oh man, if you're sitting up there and I don't see you laugh, I'm going to kill myself today on stage, and it's not going to be funny. And so she was laughing. It was really good. And afterwards, she like thanked me for the tickets and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, what did she say?
That Andrea is a trip.
That's it. That's it. Just that Andrea's a trip. But then I thought back, I go, why is she just going straight for Andrea? You were the loudest
Always,
and the
yeah.
most fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone was really fucked up. Everyone said something that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, was really messed up. Why you? Oh, because you were shitting directly on me. Yes. You were like hardcore going in on
You
me.
deserve it because I'm Team Christian.
Yeah, well, I was still very happy to be there.
I didn't even go in on you. I was yelling at you for not giving. I was using the Bianca strategy where I was saying I deserved the point even though I know I didn't. And I said, Christian tried to fuck you. Keith fucked you. I never tried to fuck you. Give me the point. I never tried to fuck
And
you.
then
And I
she
was
said-
screaming that in your face.
And you also said, and your place is not as fucked up anymore.
That was a compliment. your apartment is very clean now. I stand corrected. Chemda's a changed woman.
Well-
She's still mean to Christian, but her apartment is very
I
nice.
did try to fuck you, and we still didn't get the points.
No, I know.
So
Well,
We tried our
you know,
best.
you should have waited 30 more days.
Is this heartbreaking to learn that?
Yeah, I'm really upset about that. I feel like I need to apologize. I think I'm kidding the whole time. Like, this is what comics do, and I feel like he shits on me just as much.
He's just trying to survive. It is interesting. I'm the nice one.
Wait, but is he not trying to shit on me as much as I am? When we're in this room, maybe I overdrew my account on that
Oh
day.
yeah, you really doubled down.
Fine,
You
I
went
get
into the
that.
triple black on that.
But normally, doesn't he fuck with me as much as I fuck with him?
He seems to give up after a while. I don't know. I have to go back and listen to his past appearances. I just noticed because I think with this particular attack of you tried to fuck me, it seemed like he was scared to rebut because where does a guy go with that? You know, no, I didn't.
it's a really scary
no-
time for boys.
yeah,
Hamda.
you know,
That's
I'm
what
just-
Andrea's trying
I'm
to
just
say.
here to protect our boys.
Yeah.
Because it was like and he did said I would try to fuck you if you're a very nice woman, but I would, you know, I don't know. There's just the sadness in his eyes. He just seemed.
Oh, I think everything that I say to Christian is from love, and that means I could say everything.
It's an interesting role.
Take a year off love.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Andrea, you say the most fucked up shit to me because we've known each other for a
Sure.
while, and it feels safe.
Sure.
Imagine if one day I'm like, this whole time, you're very
I'm
aggressive.
speaking for Christian right now. I could be totally wrong. He just seemed like he was like he didn't quite know what to do, and it seemed like you were on him almost immediately. Is the vibe that I got?
All right, Keith, you think I should apologize?
No.
Well, here's
I
another.
don't think you have to apologize. I think you just think about it.
Here's another point I want to make. Moving briskly ahead,
so sorry.
Andrea.
To derail.
Thank you so much for being here on the show today. Not like you've been on enough times.
Sorry.
They let me out from behind the paywall one time. She comes on the mic. Hemda, you do this, you do that. I do this, I do this, I do this. Me. Andrea Allan, Andrea Comedy. What about Bianca Brady?
You're right.
Comedy.
I do shit on him a lot. You're right.
Yeah, still, all
thi-
about you.
I thought that's what friendship is.
I want to talk about how good Courtney McGinnis is at silent trailers. A come from behind winner. I think she got like every single one, including Swim Fan.
I love the shit out of Courtney McGinnis.
I know you do.
Holy shit.
I know, because you told her to fuck off.
Yeah.
She gets it. She totally gets it.
She's not a snowflake like Christian.
Her and Casey, and then we had JP and Connor doing sports movies.
They were thrilled. They were just off the Tiger Woods win, too.
Yeah. Everybody was so excited.
Urchin.
It was thrilling.
You don't follow golf, right? The excitement of getting a ball in a hole.
I remember one time watching golf with my stepdad, and the announcer said, "That shot redefines courage." And ever since then, I've been like, "No, I can't take this."
You can't. I saw what happened. You can't lie to me.
That's not true. That's actually a lie. It's purely false. And ever since then, I don't respect golf.
Sure.
So,
One jerk off.
yeah.
I don't blame you.
And then also Calvin, Cato, and Tracy in Silent Trailers. Not great at it.
Tracy sucks at all games, it seems.
No, but it's great to watch her play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's so funny.
For the love of the game.
yeah.
Calvin Cato and Tracy Carnazzo, and we were doing the silent trailers. It's on our YouTube channel. This was the first live one. So they were one of the two of the worst at silent trailer. I just find them so entertaining. Everything they say is funny. It's just a thrill for them to be in the room. So I'm like, go lose at silent trailers.
Sure.
It's kind of like the polar opposite of Tracy and Billy.
Yeah.
That pairing. Hemda, you are a producing genius.
Oh, God. That feels so good. Thank you.
Any other thoughts about that day's events?
I don't think so. It was very fun. A lot for Kenda to put together, but it was fun.
I can't believe I fucking lost, by the way. I can't believe it. What was the word that I got? Calibrator or something crazy?
Oh, and Emily was going in the wrong direction.
And then fucking Narcissistas flies by with Italian and then Italy. Okay, that's fucking fair. We went to a wedding in blank and then we ate blank food and I got calibrator. Fuck off. I said these are used for prayer and anal, and Emily guessed beads. How do I not win the whole game?
That, honestly,
How dare you?
That was number one clue and answer.
Yes.
That was MVP of, like, if you can just take one moment in the game, like, you didn't win, but you won that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
In
Oh, no.
my-
It was,
In my heart, it felt great.
it touched all of us.
I was so sure we were going to win. I was so sure.
That's what happens when you get confident.
Uh-huh. I'm going to put you back behind the paywall. Watch your fucking mouth.
Andrea was cocky as fuck.
I know.
She comes on, and after they do a so-so job, and we didn't even add the score yet, she's like, obviously I'm winning! Ah!
I give the MVP award to Patrick Schroeder
Yes.
of The Good, the Dad, and the Ugly,
Yeah.
who was forced to sit in the corner on stage throughout the whole show, facing the wall.
Yeah, their show has 3 hosts, but you can only be 2 people in this game, so one has to opt out, and they said, sit in the corner.
And treat him like a dog.
Yes.
But you want to know what? He knew his place. He knew his role on the team.
Yeah.
And
He
he
did get-
performed flawlessly. He did sit in that corner, and he did look at that wall flawlessly.
And who won? They did.
They did.
I can't believe it. Those fucking idiots. I can't believe it. They're like known dummies.
Will and Casey
believe
were
it.
so intense
I know.
doing it. They were like, we need this, bro.
They kept standing up when they got excited.
Also, shout out to The Good, Dad, and the Ugly because, and you should totally subscribe to everybody on this lineup. But when we did get, when Keith kept kicking out the
Yes.
chord, they were riffing.
Yes.
It was so funny. So they just kind of picked up, and
Oh, yeah.
everyone played so well together.
Right. Well, there you have it. Andrea Allan, thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's been Andrea Allan, ladies and gentlemen.
She's
You'll
such a-
hear her again probably tomorrow and the day after that.
She's a trip, right?
She's a real hoot and a half, that one.
Oh, I can't wait until I find out what, quote, Andrea is a real trip means. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay, so then the next day, Monday, the big event, Keith's birthday,
Yay.
stand-up comedy. And I just loved it.
Oh.
I just was so happy to be there. I've never seen you perform stand-up live before. It was my first time. So I gave you 16 or 15 times to get it right.
That's fair.
And
That was your open mic.
Right.
and you did it.
All right.
So congrats.
Thank you.
I got super nervous. I was not on stage this time. Andrea was hosting. And so, I was coasting all day. I'm like, I got this. I slowly got ready. I got, whatever. I was got the room set up, and then my nerves kicked in, and I realized when I go on stage, I have control over what happens on stage. I can pick up if something's getting dropped. Here, I'm just like, all right, Keith, you got this hour, right? See you later.
Well,
I'm not comfortable.
It was a lot of fun. Andrea hosted. She was excellent as always. My girlfriend Kyle was the first main performer, I'd say.
That was fun.
It was very fun.
That's
And
got to be nerve-wracking.
it was actually.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know if that's an insult, but it's nerve-wracking. And
It's not an insult. It's when you care that this person, that their atmosphere will be good,
Right.
that their jokes will land the same as they always do, and that they'll be received just like you are. Even though you know they're going to be, you know they're funny, but
Right.
it's just like, I want it to be perfect.
Yeah, but I'm like, people are looking back at me as
Yeah.
she's performing, and I point to her like I'm fucking that. And then
I'm
after
fucking that.
was with my eyes, I'm not saying that out loud.
Beautiful compliment.
And then Hannah Boone was excellent. She always
Amazing.
is.
What a pro.
Yeah.
Ugh. Every line. I'm in love with every woman on that stage.
I
that
know,
night.
and I was just like blown away. I'm like, Keith has created this situation whereby we can watch hilarious women perform, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
he goes on stage.
Oh yeah, we didn't even do that on purpose. Like we
Yeah.
need female comics
no,
or whatever.
we lift every voice and sing. It's beautiful.
Women are being just as great as men, and it's exciting to.
It's so crazy. It's like what? It's like what? Can they be funny?
Right.
I didn't think so.
And I noticed Andrea would just introduce people to the stage, not even say this next one is a female. Thought that was an interesting choice.
Hey,
Very
guys,
bold.
Yeah, heads up.
Right.
This is the point of view that's coming.
I hear that so often at stand-up shows. This is a woman, but you'll love her.
Ugh.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
Don't run it. Right. My arms are crossed. We'll see.
Probably not. I just want to compliment you, Keith. The whole hour was amazing, but I have to say my favorite part was the beginning bit where you're playing this character of the person who says kids these days
Right.
and in my day.
That
and
made
I'm
me
obviously not doing it justice by explaining it because a joke scientist is not funny. It's a scientist. It's a man of science. So take it from me, guys. You're going to want to hear this because I was sitting in my seat. My jaw was on the floor because the way you tied it all up at the end and then you invented podcasting. I mean, it sang to me. It was my language. You were speaking it. I loved it. I laughed. I cried. I felt it was pathos. It was everything to me.
Well, thank you. Yeah, at the beginning, people didn't know, am I being sarcastic?
Do you know how nervous I was? Because I read your stand-up and I'm like, this is gonna be crazy. This character is fucked up. It's
I'm
fantastic.
like, what do I care how you want to be identified, etc. And as somebody told me after, like, at first I wasn't sure where this was going. I was nervous. I'm in the front row. Am I on camera? I don't want people to see I'm part of this.
Yeah, people were like, what side of history is Keith on? Like for a second, I'm like,
Yeah.
Keith, can you tell that they can't tell? Like, and every year I'm just like, why don't I put something in his ear that I can talk to him?
Oh my God.
I can't deal.
Yeah, because I would say, for example, this was the last generation such pussies like nowadays. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to trigger anybody. I don't mean pussies. I mean strong baby making machines. And so some people are like, is this going to be an hour of this?
Yeah.
Right, but that's what was so funny to me was like we took it one level beyond. We're not commenting on the state of things. We're commenting on the commenters.
Right.
And it was like, whoa, Keith just had his brain grow over the past year. I think he got smarter because this is really good shit.
Thank you. I remember when I mentioned this on the show, I know, but when I first started writing it and the beginning, it just came to me like almost like a first draft. And I said out loud, ha ha, I tricked you.
Yeah, I think everybody's gonna love it.
Cool.
If you weren't there IRL, you gotta get on it.
Well, I think we're calling it I'm Dating Your Mom.
Mm-hmm.
And the cover most likely will be an animation of her and 3 young kids kind of hanging on her. She can barely hold enough packages. And then me just, not a care in the world, walking beside her, maybe with an ice cream cone.
Perfect.
I think that'll be funny.
Well, I was going to ask you if you were at all surprised by the crowd's reaction to your parenting advice jokes because everybody seemed to be laughing at the fact that you think you have good
Right.
parenting ideas.
I explained that I can see because I'm from the outside.
Right.
So, but anytime Kyle does get upset by one of the kids, I'm like, try it my way. Throw him in the garbage. what can hurt?
That'll do it.
Yeah.
She has such a good sense of humor about that because she has been raising someone for 16 plus years,
Right.
And you come in and it's like,
Right. Don't give him his phone.
here
Like,
I am.
yeah.
I know the answer. Nothing is nuanced. It's just black and white. Just throw them in the garbage.
And it's not my fault. It's your fault for not knowing me 16 years
Of
ago.
course, it's your fault because nothing's my fault. They're trying to trick you.
They are trying to trick you. Never forget that, Keith.
Big tricksters.
You got. I said this in stand-up, but I look forward to them trying to trick me. They think they're smarter than me.
Yeah, because then you're going to like spend all your time and money doing an elaborate prank on them for the rest of their life. Like faking FBI agents, etc.
I'm excited.
Going door to door and
Right.
talking about cake bandits as if that's a thing.
There's a lot of jokes in here that I don't think are jokes. I think we'll have the whole town in on it.
I mean, you are dating their mom.
Right.
So even the title is not a joke.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I had a fantastic time. How'd you feel about it?
Good. Good.
Keith doesn't come down until, okay, so he gets on stage and he gets off stage. Everyone starts asking him how he did. He runs to the back. I run to the back and he has his set list and he goes, okay. And we run through the entire set list and then he starts coming down a little bit.
Yeah. And I don't really know how it went per se. I can tell audience reactions after and I can see in their eyes if they're genuine. And, and you say these certain words that you mean it instead of just saying that was great. So that pleased me, but then later I still have to hear it.
Yeah.
To
Like
know.
I have to remember, like at this part, you might have heard this kind of laughter. I'm telling you, I saw this kind of response, or here you dropped this word. So you got the laugh afterwards. So that's why that happened. And then it's like, oh, this makes sense logically. Okay, I'm going to go home.
Are you able to get to sleep that
No.
night?
No.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
I saw him the next day. Oh my God, what a disaster. What a fucking mess. Oh God. The next day we were making dinner for Appia and her husband as a Kickstarter reward. And we met at 5, they're coming at 7. We went to the supermarket, we did the mise en place, but I walked into
We did the what?
They did them. She did the mise en place.
mise en place.
Oh, okay.
I chopped things and got them ready.
It's
And-
French for sense of place.
I just didn't know what we did.
It's French for people are coming over and they paid Kickstarter money.
Right.
And so, but I walk into his place. He met me at the supermarket. I walk into his place and I go, you didn't sleep at all, did you, last night?
Right.
You look like fuck. So why don't I cut some vegetables and you clean this goddamn place up? But you cleaned up pretty fast.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think by the time they came, you were straightened out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You figured it out.
Yeah.
And then you just stood on the coffee table and performed the hour again.
It's already in my head. What am I going to do?
You're
Drop
like-
it?
Actually, she had some advice for me.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
Fascinating.
And after dinner, Xerxes joined us because they weren't interested so much in booze. They were interested in another substance, so we got a sommelier for that.
Okay.
Yes, we got
Very
an
nice.
expert roller as part of it. And so we're hanging out, and I go, well, what dating advice do you have for me? And she
So you asked.
I did ask.
Okay.
I think. And she said, you got to find out what you want, not what they're looking for. She made me list it. So I'm listing. I'm like, okay.
What you want in a partner?
Yeah, I don't want generic romantic gifts. I want it to be thought out. Like, and she's like that. Because at first I was like, I don't know. I want a decent person who doesn't lie to me and, can take a joke. And she's like, no, it has to be specific. And so I went on, and it was going, and it was great. She had really good advice, actually. It was nice. And then I go, now do Xerxes. I'm like, now tell him what to do. He's about to start dating. He's getting a divorce. And so she goes, well, I don't know much about you, but I can tell you this. This is what you have to do. Behave. And that was the end. That's all Xerxes had to do is behave. That's his
Wow.
whole thing. Anyway, and speaking of, so he got on one of these apps, Xerxes, about one of these dating apps, and I helped him write his bio like an asshole. I basically wrote, I have a lot of female friends who could vouch for me. I behave.
There you go. That's all you need nowadays. I happen to see a Huffington Post article, and the title is, My Boyfriend Proposed 10 Days After We Met. Here's why I said yes. And I didn't bother
Ew.
reading it, but I'm like, you said yes because you're a writer and you needed something to do.
Right. Here's why I said it. There's so many reasons to say yes. There's
Right.
as many as to say no, no matter who you are.
How I Learned Not to Marry After 10 Days. Article number 2.
Right. Yeah. What lesson did I learn from being hasty?
Wow.
Good luck.
10 days.
Yeah, when you know, you know. Just the little blurb says, we had been watching Casablanca. It's a very good movie.
I say, what took so long?
When Steve suddenly got down on one knee and presented me with a plastic ring by Ariana Menon.
What?
That is, to me, that's the opposite of romantic. That's just some sick.
Is this the lady who married the ghost again?
It is just her in the picture. It's
Amethyst
interesting.
Realm from many episodes ago. My hero. Man, what a life.
Yeah, yeah. Do you wanna close up everything with a song about the weekend? You do great songs. Anybody that listens to last week on Keith and the Girl knows, of course.
Yes. I do great songs. So that's a good way to introduce my song.
Now it's a woman singer, but I think you're gonna like this.
Maybe I'm amazed at the way Apia knows everything all the time. Maybe I'm afraid of the way she knows everything. Thank you to everyone who came to Keith and the Girl Week. We love you all so much. Maybe I'm amazed at the way that Keith is funny. KeithAndTheGirl.com